Thank you for tuning in. This is DJ Fresh from SegaShiro.com, your Sega resource, and today we're bringing you a video review of Captain America Super Soldier. Available on the Xbox 360 and PS3, this game was developed by Next Level Games. And Next Level Games is a pretty interesting software developer. Titles to their credit include NHL Hits Pro, Punch-Out on the Wii, and Nintendo has even got them working on the next Luigi's Mansion. For Sega, Next Level Games has done the improbable, which is craft a movie-licensed Marvel title that doesn't suck. In fact, I wouldn't be hard-pressed to call the title good. It is, in the end, ultimately a solid, fun brawler that has a few elements holding it back from the likes of Batman Arkham Asylum or Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Where Captain America shines the most is in its combat engine. Unlike Batman, Captain America can be aggressive, even face bullets head-on. And this allows for an acrobatic style of aggression in combat that isn't available in that other title. 70 to 80% of the game essentially boils down to this combat, so it's great that Next Level Games really focus their attention on making it as smooth and as buttery as possible. If anything, the combat in Captain America gets better the longer you play the title, as you unlock different upgrades. In terms of platforming, Next Level Games decided to marry Prince of Persia-style dynamics with a rhythm game. Now, on theory, this works, and when you nail it, it's incredibly fun. The trick is when you don't. There's no real middle ground. Either you fail, or you win at these sections. So at times it can either be frustrating and kind of slow, or it can be fantastic. To break up the ebb and flow of combat and platforming, there are also some puzzle sections and sabotage missions. And essentially in these sections, you're either just solving a puzzle quickly, using the two analog sticks, or using the two analog sticks to hotwire a bomb or a panel. The game is set up in a persistent world, or essentially one giant sprawling level. You are behind enemy lines, sabotaging the Hydra workings at Castle Zemo. And if Castle Zemo has one thing, it's items strewn everywhere. I don't know what's wrong with the Hydra forces. They seem to leave important documents in the bathroom, on couches, and just everywhere. However, all this forced exploring does bring with it a reward, as you unlock new moves and new items, which makes Captain faster, stronger, and a better soldier. You also get new movies and concept art, so it's worth taking a peek around the corner to see if there's a file on the floor. Because the game is one persistent level, you can backtrack at any moment. However, during the main quest or the main storyline, you never really need to. It's only if you want to go exploring for items. In terms of gameplay, Next Level Games kept it simple, kept it smooth, and ultimately the game is fun in that regard. Where it falters is in production. Take, for example, the character models. Captain America himself and his shield look fantastic, yet the other characters and enemies like Madam Hydra don't look as sharp. The textures are not quite as sharp as they are in some other games, but it's all serviceable, and it all looks good, it just doesn't look fantastic. Oddly enough, the game seemed to move smoother in 3D than when I played it in 2D. The 3D is actually pretty well done for this game, it's consistent throughout, even through cutscenes, and it's quite nice to see helmets popping off enemies as you punch them in the face. Unfortunately, however, there are some elements of the 3D that pull you out of the experience. Occasionally, a texture will just pop out unnaturally against everything else on the screen. It's a bit odd for sure, however, for the most part, the 3D depth is fantastic, and actually serves Captain America quite well. The game also features a tactical assist mode, which essentially highlights elements that are pertinent to the game. It's kind of like detective mode in Arkham Asylum. However, the cool thing is that you can turn it off or put it only on in combat or certain situations. The controls in themselves are fantastic, and the longer you play Captain America, the better they feel. The game also includes a variety of challenge modes once you beat the title, and these are great because they unlock other costumes for Captain America. You can unlock his ultimate suit as well as his classic comic book costume. Oddly enough, you don't get a save game plus at the end of the title, so you can't run around the world in the new suit from the starting of the storyline. What you can do, however, is revisit the world that you've already beaten, running through, collecting new items, and beating enemies that are stationed there. Overall, the length of the game is rather on the short side. It took me about 6.5 hours to beat the main story mode, as well as all of the challenges. Now, at that point, I still hadn't collected everything, but one thing that I can say about Captain America, which was different than all of the other Sega Marvel games that I've played to this point, is that I actually went back and kept playing. Surprisingly, Chris Evans and all of the voice acting crew did a fantastic job. It really mirrors the movie quite well. In terms of storyline, the Christos Gage pen script is solid enough, weaving in enough elements of the movie while letting you still meet up with characters like Madam Hydra and Iron Cross. In terms of music and sound effects, you got a 5.1 system. The sound of beating someone with a shield is sheer awesomeness. The music, on the other hand, sounds orchestral and is solid enough, except it just doesn't really stand out in any meaningful way. On the PS3 version, it does require a 4 gig install, that's mandatory. However, once you get into the game, there are very little load times. Overall, I enjoyed my time with Captain America. It's better than most other of the Sega Marvel licensed games, and even manages to best something like the Wolverine Origins title. Sure, it lacks in a sense of originality, but it's a great way to kill a rainy weekend. This is DJ Fob Fresh signing out, saying keep on gaming.